Hello and welcome everybody to today's training session on Amazon FBA. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jansen Smith and I'm going to be the webinar host today alongside AMZ Scout. But thank you so much guys for joining me wherever you are from, whatever your background, whatever your age, whatever your gender. Honestly, you are going to get something from this session tonight. I'm so excited to be presenting to you. One of the reasons that I just love doing these sessions is because I remember just how excited I was the very first time that I sat one of these. So it was actually around 4 years ago now to the date. It was 2018. Just before, actually, I think it was around December 2017. And I watched one of these sessions and I just had so much excitement running through my body. And I think I watched it at a similar time to what I'm presenting to you guys. And I went to bed that night and honestly, I just couldn't sleep. I was up there just like lying with so many ideas running through my mind. And ever since I sat that webinar, genuinely, it has changed my life. That was 4 years ago now. And as you guys will see shortly, I've grown to become a full-time seller, 7-figure business, and I started from the exact same beginnings that you guys are now. If you are starting from scratch, well, guess what? You were the exact same point that I was. I wasn't advantaged in any way. So in the nicest way possible, I really hope that you enjoy this session so much that you can't sleep tonight because you are just buzzing for what's to come. So before we kind of get into the meat of the presentation, before I start delivering the value, I want to get you even more pumped and explain to you exactly what you are going to be learning today. I can see a couple of questions coming through and we are going to have, Q&A at the end, and I will kind of answer questions as I see them. Brian's asking if there'll be a replay. Yes, there will be later on, but you obviously won't get to ask me questions live and on the spot. So what are we going to learn today? So we're going to cover how thousands, hundreds of thousands of people from all around the world are leveraging Amazon's like ridiculous amount of growth to generate profits for themselves of more than $10,000 every single month. And they're doing that by selling their own products with Amazon FBA. In addition to that, we're then going to relate it back to you guys. And we're going to talk about how you can have your very own products designed and manufactured for as little as $1,000. And then we're going to cover how to ensure that you don't get stopped before you've even started. So some quick tips from me about what not to do when you create your Amazon account that could get you into trouble, which some people do mistakenly trip up over. And then we're going to go into the main attraction of this webinar, which is the 5 simple steps to discover, source, and launch your own profitable products using Amazon FBA. And these 5 steps are the exact ones that I have followed time and time again to consistently just keep launching profitable products. I just rinse and repeat. And I'm going to show you guys my results as we go through this presentation to show you how it all works. So as part of that, we're going to I'm going to reveal different product research tricks that will help you find products that allow you to stand out from the crowd and do the most important thing, sell, sell, sell. And we're also going to run through 5 different product ideas that you can get started with today. So it's going to be a lot of value being dropped. And throughout the entire presentation, of course, it wouldn't be a Jansen presentation without me dropping in my value bombs, my top tips for success. And then we're also going to be revealing the main reason after all of that, why beginners often trip up and fail when it comes to selling on Amazon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, you might be asking, well, why is all this important? Why is it important to learn about Amazon FBA today? Like there's tons of other things to learn about. Well, let me explain this. So these are some facts that I found whilst researching, the reasons that Amazon FBA is growing so big. The first is that many jobs are becoming obsolete, which means that more and more people are losing their jobs. There's less job security, and it's actually estimated that by 2023, so that's in a year's time, I believe the statistic was from about a year ago, there's going to be 75 million jobs lost worldwide because of technology. So it's really important that you just look for as many opportunities to give yourself additional income streams. So if the worst thing happens, if you do lose your job or your income reduces, or you just need an extra income stream, you've got something to rely on. You know, in the UK especially, and actually the US, I know energy prices are going up. There's so much inflation. So it is really important that we look for as many ways as we can to increase the amount of our monthly earnings. In addition to that, it's also important to pay attention today because, as we will see, more and more people are turning to shopping on Amazon every single day. And these statistics absolutely blew my mind when I saw them. So sellers, like independent sellers like me, cumulatively are generating $283,000 worth of sales a minute, which just shows you the insane amount of traffic flowing through Amazon every single day. And I mean, most importantly of all, the main reason that we're all here, right, is to get those gift cards. So we're going to have a couple of gift card giveaways. There's going to be one at the beginning, but make sure you pay attention because the question will be about something that I've said. And then we're going to have an even bigger one towards the end. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, if you guys have kind of just seen an advert from AMZ Scout today, or you've had an email from me and you don't really know if it's going to be of benefit for you, well, let me just say, if any of these on the screen now kind of resonate with you, if you're always somebody that's been looking to start their own business or make some additional money or just lower stress and anxiety from work, and that was something that really resonated with me, you're going to get a lot of value from this. But overall, if you are an entrepreneur, you're going to enjoy this. And if you're, let me just say this now, if you are on my mail list, if you subscribe to my YouTube, if you're on AMZ Scouts mail list, whatever, if you're here, you are an entrepreneur. So it is for you. Okay. So who am I? Who is Jansen Smith? You may well have never have heard of me and you're thinking, who on earth is this British chap that sat in darkness in London? So to summarize, well, my name is Jansen and I'm from the UK in London, and I've been selling on Amazon since 2018. Since then, I've grown to become a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller that has 2 global brands that spans across around 15 or 16 products. Ever since I started back in 2018, I've documented my entire journey. So I've got a YouTube channel, and pretty much every single week or every single 2 weeks, if I'm feeling a bit lazy, I've done a video, a tutorial video, a video that, you know, describes my journey and so on and so on. So my path to where I am today is, you know, been well documented. And through all of that, I have accumulated 4,000 hours doing all things Amazon FBA since I first discovered it, since I first sat one of these webinars in late 2017, which is, I don't know if it's depressing or what, but it's a heck of a lot. But in any event, you can tell from me doing around, you know, that amount of hard work into the field that I am absolutely dedicated and passionate to selling online, to Amazon FBA, private label, and teaching others. And that is what led me to create the Smashers Academy, which is a mentorship scheme. And yeah, that's something that I'm incredibly passionate about as well. I can see we've got some of my students in here. We've got Bruce, we've got Mike. So it's great to see you guys giving me some support tonight. And of course, I obviously could not mention this. I was on the TV because of my Amazon FBA journey. So I was interviewed by BBC News on the internet and the TV show Newsnight, where I just spoke about Amazon, and I was loving it. So that's my little claim to fame. Now, before we kind of start diving into, you know, the importance of this opportunity and what it means, I did want to kind of just summarize my journey so far in a neat little package. And that is not really to like show off or anything like that, but just to show you how quickly things can escalate. Because I want you guys, if this is the first time that you've properly learned about Amazon FBA, I want you to understand that things are going on the up from here on out, and you could well be running a 6-figure business within 6 months like I was. So December 2017, I was feeling very stressed and anxious about work. I was just not very happy. I was working in banking. People were getting fired left, right, and center. And I thought, I need to find some way out, some additional income stream that can relieve me of my anxiety. So I sat one of these webinars, and as I said, I was absolutely buzzing. I was so excited that I couldn't sleep. And I said to myself, right, tomorrow is the first day of this journey. I'm going to make a start. Well, guess what? Life got in the way. I was distracted. Friends and family wanted to hang out with me, and I just didn't do anything. And I was so frustrated at myself that 5 months later, I was still incredibly unhappy. I hadn't done a thing. I just kept putting it off, saying I'm going to do it at the weekend, and I didn't. That I decided to enroll on a course, get a mentor, somebody that could guide me and effectively take me on the journey. So May 2018 for me really is the official date that I started. That's when I started putting it into practice. And I made a post in a Facebook group, which I would highly recommend you guys join, because it's just something that can keep you accountable, motivated, and just interested in the topic. I made this post here where you can see me introducing myself, and I've highlighted this is when I kind of started my YouTube career as well. Seriously excited to start. I'm going to set up a YouTube soon in a few weeks to document things. Remember this for when I make it big. And, you know, I love looking back on that. It's something that I keep referencing throughout because that's nearly 4 years now. And to look back and think of how much I've done, how much I've achieved from no experience is amazing. And it should excite you guys too, because it's going to happen to you if you go and take action after this webinar. So, let's just kind of speed up with what happened. So I started learning the materials. I started doing my product research, and just 1 month later, after 5 months of doing nothing, I'd found a product. A month after that, I'd ordered 1,000 units. And then in August 2018, I sold my very first product. And you can see here, this is my first week of sales. And honestly, the feeling was absolutely indescribable. I was saying to, I said to my wife and my girlfriend at the time, you know, I'm the next Mark Zuckerberg, like all tongue in cheek, obviously. And it just was incredible to basically see this money coming in and me not actually doing anything. I wasn't going outside or anything else like that. So that was the first week. And I just wasn't prepared for what was going to happen in terms of the trajectory. So that was the first week. This was the second week, and you can see that I generated £4,600, so about $5,000, and that was in my second week of sales. I was absolutely on cloud nine. I couldn't have been happier, but I could be happier because it carried on going and going. Now, in October 2018, so a full month after selling, I sold out and I ordered more. And then in December, I sold out again and hit $20,000 profit. And that was it. There was no stopping me then. I just carried on reordering, growing my products, reordering, expanding. And in May 2020, I hit $750,000 in sales. I've since surpassed that. So you'll see my sales in a moment, but I'm over $1 million now per year, which is ridiculous considering I started with just 3,500 investment. July last year, I was approached by an investor that wanted to buy my brands. And I had a conversation with him rather selfishly, just for my YouTube channel. I just wanted to kind of know how much they'd be willing to pay and all that. And I said at the end of the conversation, I'm not interested at the moment. I'm having far too much fun, and maybe contact me in a year, but it better look like a long telephone number, how much you offer. So we left it there. And that brings me to today. So a 7-figure seller, 2 brands with 15 products. And, you know, my kind of monthly sales at the moment are around that £70,000 mark. My record was December just gone. I got to 100,000 per month. And I'm hoping this year I'll be able to get to that 100,000 per month every single month. So that's just to show you guys what is achievable. And I achieved all that there, that £70,000 in 18 months. So I really hope that excites you now, because it is absolutely possible. If you have got the right mindset and you are motivated and you are ready to hit the ground running with this training, there's absolutely no reason why you can't grow as quickly as that. So within my first 3 months of selling, I made $20,000 profit. And the question the thing that I thought at the time was, how many businesses can do that, can profit at all, not even in 3 months, but in their first year? And the answer is very, very few. And then I thought, well, the most attractive thing about Amazon FBA is you can do it absolutely anywhere and make a profit. How many businesses out there can do that? How many businesses have 0 overheads, 0 staff and rental costs, and they can make a profit passively? Now, in this training, I like to do something. Whenever I do a live training session, I like to show you guys that I am for real and I do sell and I know what I'm talking about, because a lot of guys, unfortunately, teach it and they don't sell. So what we're going to be doing is a little experiment, and I'm going to be showing you my sales now on camera. And then at the end of the session, we're going to refresh my sales live on camera. And hopefully, I can't promise anything because it is getting a bit late in the UK. But hopefully my sales will have gone up and you guys will see what it is like to be earning passive profits. So we're on 175 sales. You can see that. That's for today. So 175 sales. Remember that, guys. And we're going to refresh it later on. And hopefully it will have gone up so you can see exactly what it's like. Now, the fantastic thing is, as I mentioned earlier on, I have started this mentorship scheme and I've got Facebook groups and I'm just very active in the community. It is not just me that has a similar story. There are tons and tons of people that have replicated my success or just, been a huge success themselves. So Dami is somebody that joined my mentorship scheme in May 2020. By December 2020, he cracked that 10K in sales. And if you think that's impressive, that was just after 4 months of selling. Just 1 month later, he cracked it again. He'd done another 10K to get to £20,000 or $25,000 in revenue. And Sally as well, who is another star student of mine. So she shipped half of her shipment into Amazon 25th of May last year. And then in July, she cracked 10K. And I was absolutely delighted to see in February, so just last month, she posted that she just hit the 100K mark. And she said, really excited to see what the rest of the year brings. And I'm hoping to smash 150K within the next 12 months. And, like I said, it's not just Sally, it's Sam who did the exact same. In 6 months, she hit 20K. It's Toby, Sahika. We have got tons and tons of people that are creating their own branded products online, selling them with Amazon FBA and making a fortune. And something that I was really proud of, bearing in mind that I'm awful at art and design, are these little awards. So this is my logo. And whenever my students, have an amazing achievement, get to start selling and get to that 10K club, they get one of these magnificent awards. And we've honestly got tons of these. It's actually costing me a fortune because so many people are getting them and I have to pay a designer to make them. But they are really, really cool. So that is something that I hope to one day award some of you people watching today. And I certainly hope to congratulate some of you for, starting to be sellers and for smashing Amazon FBA. So hopefully you guys are now starting to get excited. Let me know in the comments. Give me a 1 if you are absolutely buzzing and you are ready to start learning about this amazing opportunity. Awesome. I can see a few questions coming through. Okay, we have got Lena from AMZ Scout who's going to be answering questions if I miss them. But yes, guys, give me some 1s. And I can see Bruce is absolutely buzzing. Jonathan's smashing the 1. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope you're all pumped. I hope whoever you're with, you're not annoying too much. If there's anybody about you, the amount of screaming you're going to be doing, you're going to be so, so excited. Now, the first competition. So we're going to do silence. Silence, please, in the room. So the first competition is for a $25 gift card. This is the smaller prize. The bigger one is going to be towards the end of the session when you've learned everything and you're even more excited. So in order to win this, I just need one person to answer the question correctly, and just type the answer and your email so I know who to contact. And basically, I'm going to say it's the first person to respond. The later one we'll do at random, but the first person to get the correct answer is going to win the $25 gift card. So fingers at the ready. I can see some people are already putting their emails, but you need to put the answer. Fingers at the ready on the keyboards and on your phones. So the question is, roughly how many hours have I spent doing all things Amazon FBA since 2017? And I did warn you, I said you guys need to pay attention. So put the answer and your email, and the first answer that I see that's correct will win, and then Lena will write your address down. Okie dokie. All right, so we've got tons and tons of correct answers. We've got a couple that weren't quite right. But so the correct answer was 4,000. Grats to tudortarb@gmail.com. So Lena from AMG Scout is going to write that down. There's a big L there on my head. And we will contact you. Congratulations, Tudor, if that is your name. So let's now talk about why this is the perfect opportunity in the grand scheme of things. So whether you're in the US, the UK, wherever, I'm sure you will recognize some of these names, and you'll know that in general, high street retailers are struggling if they haven't already gone bust. And the reason for that is that more and more people are turning to online shopping. Now, this statistic completely blew me away because I thought it was far, far higher than this. I've been a big online shopper for many, many years, and so is everybody that I know. But prior to the pandemic, only 1 in 10 purchases out of all kind of retail purchases were online, which really surprised me. And you guys will not believe what happened in the pandemic. It basically, went up 50%. So the amount of people shopping online increased 50% in 2020, right? Which is a huge amount, but it's not actually that much overall in the grand scheme of things. It's still 14%. It's like there's still 85% of purchases are like in shops, in retail, wherever, just not via the internet. And, the experts believe that by 2024, it's going to be around 1 in 5 purchases. Now, why should this excite you, or why did it excite me? Well, the reason is that it tells us that the trajectory of people shopping online is going like that. And there's still plenty of growth left to come. It's only 1 in 5, like 20%. It's not 100%. It's not 90%. There's still so much money being spent out there on, goods, basically, retail goods, and it's not on the internet. So basically, the trajectory is very, very exciting. And who do we think, guys, is going to benefit from this trend? Who is going to benefit from more and more people shopping online? I want to see some correct answers, please. I can see lots of answers. Somebody said 0 hours for my time on Amazon. So thank you for that, paying attention. So yes, the answer is it's Amazon. Amazon is going to benefit from more and more people going online. Now, one of the statistics, I'm full of statistics in this session today, is that 25% of all online shopping, it starts on Amazon. You know what, guys? I can see you all saying it's us, and you are completely right. It's us and Amazon. So 25% of online shopping starts on Amazon, and around 50% starts on Google. Now, the thing that should give you even more encouragement is that is at least, that 25% is at least. Because if you type in any product that you want to purchase on Google, which 50% of people are doing, they're ending up on Amazon anyway. So even though the search starts on Google, people are ending up on Amazon. And when you look at the amount of growth that Amazon has been through, it's absolutely incredible. And it's easy to see why. People absolutely love Amazon. It's grown to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. Jeff Bezos is just insanely rich. He is going to be a trillionaire apparently by 2026. He's just defying aging at the moment. He's got like a massive muscly body, a massive boat, and it's all, in fact, boat is probably the wrong word. It's like a yacht, a super yacht. And he's done it all because of the sheer growth of Amazon. Now, Amazon, as I'm sure all of you know, has built a fantastic brand that is essentially trusted by hundreds of millions of customers from around the world. And the amazing thing is that we are being given the opportunity to benefit from this. It's not like the olden days where you watch eBay and PayPal and whoever grow and you're kind of just watching from the sideline and you're not really able to participate. We can participate with this fulfillment by Amazon. And I bet some of you are like, finally, whatever the thing he's been banging on about, he's finally revealing what it is. So Amazon FBA, if you're not aware of it, is where we're given the ability to sell on Amazon's site. We send products into Amazon and they will sell it for us. So it will appear on their website. A customer will purchase on the Amazon site and they will ship the product for us. And that is what I was showing you on my phone earlier. those 175 sales that I've done today, I haven't been to the post office once. I've basically been in here today working on my own little side hustles, but Amazon's been posting, packaging, everything for me. So why should Amazon FBA excite you? Well, Amazon is expected to continue that exponential growth that we just saw on the chart there. Amazon FBA, it allows you to partner with a trusted brand. Everybody knows Amazon, and it means that you don't have to start your own like e-commerce site or anything like that. You can just piggyback off Amazon's world-class reputation. It's very, very possible to make sales like immediately on the same day that you list your product, as I have, as all my students have done, because of Amazon's ridiculously high traffic levels. And conversion rates on Amazon are 20% versus independent sites, which are 5%. And there's a few more to excite you even more if you're not absolutely buzzing. You don't need to leave the house if you don't want to. If you just want to stay in bed all day and make some money, you can. You don't need to store your product. You don't even need to see your product. One of my products I've never even seen in the flesh. And you don't need to worry about going to a post office. And this is probably the thing that will excite most of you. It was definitely something that appealed to me. You can run this business wherever you are in the world, right? My wife is a Kiwi. I go to New Zealand at times. The business carries on flowing. I went to Oman a few weeks ago on holiday. The business kept coming through. I've been skiing, all sorts. You guys can do the same. If you want to work on a beach and chill out, if you want to go sightseeing in a city sightseeing, whatever, you can. And Amazon doesn't close. And the amazing thing is, the party's just getting started. We just saw, didn't we, with those e-commerce statistics, it's only 20%. It's only 1 in 5 purchases currently online. And of those purchases, it's about 25%, a bit more on Amazon. So it's growing exponentially. The party's just getting started. You know, the bouncers are letting people in. They're like, come on, more in. We want more people in. You're on the guest list. In you come. You're on Jansen's guest list. So this is why you should be so, so excited. Now, you may be thinking, well, this is something that is probably only available to big businesses with huge amounts of money. And this is why I want to put this quick case study in here to show you it's not big businesses, or it's not just big businesses making a killing, it's people. So if you're in the UK, you will be familiar with these type of bottles. They're called Chili's bottles. They're really popular because they just look quite cool. And the guys that sell them are making a fortune, absolute fortune. So this tool is called AMZ Scouts like Pro Extension, and it will give you a very reliable estimate of the amount of sales in a niche. And I had a little look, and the guys at Chili's are doing £66,000 revenue just with one of their products, and they have tons of others. Now, if this picture here is confusing you a little, don't worry, because we're going to dive into it a bit more detail later. But the point is that these guys are making a fortune just in the UK market. They also sell in the US. They sell in many other markets. And they're selling these bottles, which is essentially a standard insulated bottle with a little chili on it, for £20. And this will amaze you. They're getting them for, I'd say, $2 at the most. These, if they're selling to £60,000 worth of bottles each month, you know, and this is 1,000 pieces minimum order, these guys would be getting it, I'd imagine, $1.50 at the most. So the profit margin, there are obviously Amazon fees involved in there, but you know, even if you assume they're making a 20% profit margin, which is probably, I'd say, on the low side, then it's at least £12,000 profit per month. I would say that's at the actual least. And I know that because I've been very nosy. I'm just trying to, I was actually looking through their accounts earlier, and because they're public, and I saw it was 2 guys my age, and the amount of cash they've got, I think they increased by about $1 million in a year. So that's me just being curious, I should say, rather than nosy. But in any case, hundreds of thousands of people all around there, it's people that own, you know, that own Chili's, not a company, are creating their own businesses, and they are generating serious wonga thanks to the power of Amazon FBA and what I specialize in, which is private labeling. So if you haven't heard of private labeling before, in a nutshell, it's where you work with a manufacturer or a supplier with an established product. It's a product that exists already. It doesn't have any branding on it. And all you do is you say to the manufacturer, Can you change the color of this? Can you put my logo on it? Can you change the instructions, etc.? You can change the way it looks, basically. That's all you need to do. You don't need to invest in research and development. You don't need to invent anything. And you can customize just about anything. And the amazing thing is, guys, that the power of the internet has made this available, accessible to everybody. You know, back in the early 2000s and the late 90s, you probably have to get the yellow pages out, or whatever you guys call it in the US, the telephone book, ferry through, call loads of numbers, and you'd probably just lose interest. But this can all be done on the internet, and you can do it with as little as $1,000. I'm just kind of keeping my eye on the questions. I can see someone's asking how old I am. I'd be interested to know how old you think. I know I'm a little baby face, but you might think I'm older than I am. Now, why should you create your own brand and do private labeling? Why would you not want to just sell a product with no branding on it? Well, branding is proven to create trust and add authority, and it helps you to build a reputation and gain repeat custom. And if you do a good job with branding, it creates an emotional connection with the customer that will make them want to recommend you and keep on buying from you repeatedly. And as you guys will know from these names on the right, it allows you to charge a premium for your product. So we all know Apple. I've got an Apple phone here. Is it the best phone in the world? No, it's not. It crashes all the time. You know, I'm sure there are better phones out there, but it's one of the most expensive phones. And it's one of the most expensive because they've built an amazing premium brand that people like, love and respect, and are happy to pay that because of the reputation and the words that go with Apple. Now, I can see some of the answers coming through on my age. So Anthony, 26, and Hussein, 25. You're my boys. I'm happy with that. And Ellen, have you been looking at my birth certificate? I just turned 33 like 2 weeks ago. Do I look 33? Well, at least nobody said 40. I probably would have turned the webinar off if anybody said that. So anyway, I digress. Branding and private labeling is incredibly important. I've got a brand here, you know, and I probably paid a bit more for this t-shirt than I would have done without it. And it's just psychological because you see a brand and you think quality. Now, creating a private label brand gives you the opportunity to build a loyal following, and it allows you to pave the way to becoming a worldwide household name without having to spend thousands and thousands of pounds. And two very successful private labelers that have done this are Kylie Jenner. So I know that she is very, very rich already, but she did private labeling. She just visited like a makeup factory and said, can you do this lipstick for me and stick my brand name on it? That's all she's done. She hasn't made it herself. She's just visited the factory, right? And that was valued at $1 billion. And then Movement Watches, also started by an independent. They just visited a factory in China, having been introduced on the internet. And that was recently acquired for 100 million. They're not making the watches. They're just doing private labeling. And private labeling, believe it or not, is absolutely everywhere. You'll recognize these stores on the page here. And, you know, if you go to Tesco, Walmart, and have a look at their own label products, they're not manufacturing it. They're doing private labeling. Now, the thing to really get you guys excited, Kieran, my boy, saying 40, unbelievable, absolutely livid. I know Kieran personally, we're the same age. So, well, he's my twin, but a year older. But in any way, serious money is now starting to pay attention to this Amazon FBA malarkey. Investors, this is in the Financial Times, investors are pouring cash loads into this business model. So billions is going in, and it's starting to pay real attention. And these guys are acquiring private label businesses. This is on the BBC, the Amazon sellers who sold up and became millionaires. And they all started from humble beginnings of not knowing anything, just like I have and just like you guys are. And this is a little snippet of the email that I got from the investor when they reached out to me saying they, are investors. They're looking to acquire the best brands with a significant presence on Amazon, and they're extremely interested in acquiring my brand. And that is how it starts, guys. Those are the steps to get there. Now, you might be thinking, well, you probably are thinking, if you're anything like I was back when I started, I can't create a brand. I'm awful at designing. I'm awful at art. I actually got an E in art at school. I was so naughty, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to do anything yourself in these days. You just hire it out. These websites here, you can hire people to design you a logo, a brand, whatever, for so cheaply. Fiverr, Guess how much it costs? It costs $5. It is like insanely cheap. And yeah, you don't need to be good at art. So that's one doubt, like scratched out. Now, I was generally back then, as I said, very anxious, given I was working in the cutthroat banking industry. And when I kind of saw this presentation, I had all these negative thoughts running through my mind. You know, I don't have a product to sell. I don't know what to sell, etc. Just saying, I just can't do this. And I can absolutely promise you that if I had all those doubts back then, and if you have any of those doubts now, well, if I can do this in 3 months of selling, so that's exactly what I achieved in those 3 months, having run out of stock and having had to reorder. If I can do this in 5 months of selling, and if I can do this in just over 1 year, and then this in 18 months, that's when I hit that 500,000, and I'm now at around $1 million a year. And if so can many others that I've helped and coached. So these are just some more results of students that are posting in the Facebook groups. Then I can promise you guys, so can you. You absolutely can. It is a mindset thing. You just need to be willing and able and have got that positive mindset. So hopefully you guys are now absolutely pumped. I want to give me a 1 in the comments if you are ready to start the 5 steps to success. So now, guys, this is going to be the pure value getting dropped. I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to discover, source, and launch products so you can make a start. So awesome. We've got some 1s flowing through. Fantastic, fantastic. Okie dokie. So let us now begin the 5 steps to success. And as I said, once we've kind of run through those 5 steps to success, those negative thoughts that I had there, they are all going to be scratched out. So this is me now, scratched out, and it's going to be you. You're going to be jumping up and down. You're going to be annoying your neighbors. If you've got people living below you, they'll be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So this is my 5 steps to success. You should have been emailed this, and we're going to walk through each part bit by bit. And first of all, we're going to be covering product discovery. So finding a product to sell. Now, let's start by going through, you know, the maybe question mark in your head, which is, well, this Amazon FBA sounds, you know, great, but I don't have a product to sell, and I don't even have an idea of what to sell. Now, when it comes to Amazon FBA, we're not really just plucking ideas out of thin air. We're looking for things. We're looking for trends. Ultimately, what we're looking for are products that already sell well on Amazon, but they can be improved by us. And how do you know what products already sell well on Amazon? Well, the great thing is that there is a tool that you might have heard of called AMZ Scout, and it can give you a really reliable estimate. It's a little toolbar that plugs into your Chrome extension, and it's amazing. It's actually really good just if you're nosy like I am to see how much money people are making. So you can go onto people's websites, onto their listings on Amazon, run this little tool, and you'll be shown this. So this is something that I ran earlier for like a water bottle flask. And you can see, I'm just going to break down each part bit by bit, because I guess it's information overload. You can see the price of what each person is charging, the fees, and their net margin. Then you can see the amount of sales that they're making per month. This is in the US, and the top seller is doing a cool 1.1 million a month. In fact, I can see one halfway through that's doing 1.5 million a month. No biggie. That's pocket change. Then you can see the number of reviews, the ratings. So this tool is really good at summarizing the search page result and giving you the data that you want to know. So now that we know how to find, like, how to understand how well a product is selling, that doesn't mean that we should just sell any product. We need to sell a product that makes a good Amazon FBA product. So the kind of attributes that I would say makes a good Amazon FBA product are listed on the screen now. And it's essentially something that's going to be cheap to transport. It's not going to break. It's something that we can put a brand on, and it's something that is going to make us money all the way around the year. It's not seasonal, and it's not a fad. And most importantly of all, it's something that is going to be profitable, and it's got strong sales demand. And the beauty of this business model of Amazon FBA and using tools that AMZ Scout provides you with is that all of these things we can check before we decide to sell a product. So we're mitigating the risk of us ordering a product and it just doesn't sell anything at all. Now, AMZ Scouts Pro extension comes with so many little inbuilt features, it's ridiculous. So you've got monthly sales estimates, you've got a profit calculator, so you can work out how much profit you're likely to make, sales history, so you can see how sales have been over the past year, competition analysis, you have got the lot. So all of those things that can help you to understand whether the product that you found is likely to be a winner or a stinker. So an example of a good product, like inherently, what makes a good product? Well, it's a water bottle for me. It's small and lightweight. It's not fragile, made of glass. It's going to break. You can put your brand on it, which is what this seller's done here in a really cool way. It sells all the way through the year. It's not something that's consumable, so somebody's going to eat it and possibly get ill. And it's profitable. They have very good profit margins of 30%. And as we've just seen, they've got huge amounts of sales demand. In terms of a bad product, I found this on Amazon. Someone was selling this and it wasn't a surprise that there were not really many sales. It's like a little sweet jar. So why is it a bad product? Well, it's fragile. It could break. It's probably quite bulky. You're not going to be able to get too many in a cardboard box. It's not brandable. Where are you going to put your brand on that? And even if it was, people aren't really going to care. A low profit margin and poor sales. So now that we understand the attributes of what makes a good product and we've done examples of good and bad products, you might be now thinking, well, how do you find one? Do you just go into a dark room and write down all the products that come to mind and then check their sales, or what? Well, there are numerous ways of idea generation, I like to call it. So that includes AMZ Scout, which has got a really cool product database searcher. You can search on Amazon, trade fairs, looking around the shop. That honestly, there's tons and tons of different ways. I have done them all, and I'm telling you, there's so many. You can spend one for each day of the month easily. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you an example of AMZ Scout's product database searcher. And the kind of best way of describing this, I'd say, is a bit like a Google of Amazon. So it allows you to go in and specify the type of products that you want to see. So AMZ Scout's product database looks like this, and you can say, only show me products in the baby category or health and fitness category, and only show me products that are already making $10,000 revenue per month and that have less than 250 reviews. So that's what I did when preparing for this presentation. I said, show me products in the baby category that sell $10,000 a month minimum, that have a price of $15 to $30. So it's something that's not so expensive, it'll put customers off, but it's not so cheap that I can make a profit. And the reviews are not so high, so around 250, because it indicates that they're fairly new. So this is the first page that loaded, and you can kind of see the results on the left, and then each column gives you a summary of that product's performance. And you can see that some of these sellers are just making insane amounts. So that first one is selling like a sleep sack for a baby, $200,000 a month. It's not bad, is it, if you can get it? And it's absolutely incredible. Now, when I was looking at that there, I thought those type of products aren't really something that I thought I could do a good job with or that I could speak well about. Baby clothes, they probably come in different sizes. Baby nourishing cream, it's not something that I would recommend, and so on and so on. So I skipped to the next page, and then this little bad boy caught my eye. So it's a nail file, electric nail trimmer, and it's generating a cool $90,000 a month. It's got just 6 reviews. And this is the thing that really caught my eye. The brand name is Conservicen. And, I was talking earlier about the importance of branding. I just thought, what on earth is that? That name sounds awful. It sounds awful. So I clicked into the listing to take a closer look to see, what customers were seeing when they were buying this product. And this really highlighted to me just how much opportunity there is on Amazon. So if customers are logging on and they're buying this, then that to me shows that there just is so much opportunity, because this listing I just thought looked absolutely awful. Now, before we kind of dive into the listing in a bit more detail, I wanted to see how much other sellers were making. If this seller was making, $60,000, $70,000 a month, I wanted to see if others were as well. So I went on to AMZ Scout and I searched, and I could see there was another seller doing nearly $370,000 a month, and then others also doing 50,000, 30,000, 30,000. So there's a lot of demand in this niche, which is something that you need to see. Remember, we spoke about earlier, there needs to be demand in a niche if you are to consider selling in it. And there you go. I've just highlighted the an insane amount of revenues within this niche. So this is something that now, when I saw earlier, I thought I can speak a lot about this. There's a lot of things wrong with this listing and this niche that I think that I can improve upon. And that is what is really important, guys. If you are to sell something on Amazon, you can't just copy and paste. You can't just find this baby nail file and copy the images and copy the product exactly in the branding and send it in and expect it to work. That was something that worked, years back when it was less competitive, but now you've got to think outside the box. You've got to use the various techniques that I'm going to teach you to stand out from the crowd. So how can we do that? How can we differentiate? Well, some of the ways to differentiate could include bundling. So that could be providing a complementary item with your product that the customer will find of value. It could be refining, so working and improving on the listing and the images versus your competition. It can be branding, so getting rid of that Conservicen and working on a brand that resonates with the customer. And it can be improving, so improving upon the quality or the functionality. And actually, all of those things I thought were things that I could do with that baby nail file very, very easily. So let's have a look at what we're up against. If we were to be selling in this niche, these are the type of images that customers are looking at and going, yeah, I like that. And it just blows my mind because these images look very unprofessional. The coloring is awful. It just looks like absolute tat. Like the packaging, baby electric nail file, there's no branding on it. It just doesn't really scream professionalism to me. And if I had a baby, there's no way in heck I would let this nail file near it. I'd be terrified of what could happen. So these were some follow-up images, safe and gentle, no disturbance to sleeping baby, gently grinds nails. Like, it's not really using the nicest language, is it? Solve the problems and then just horrible pictures. It just, it's not resonating with me, and I'm surprised that it resonates with customers. And I think it resonates with customers because there's no better option, basically. And I can see Skype Girl saying Amazon has far too many rules. Yeah, it does. But if you know the rules, then they're not difficult to abide by. And I know the rules, so I can guide you there. And we're going to go through some of those in a moment. Now, one top research tip from me, an easy way of spotting an opportunity is just by looking through customer reviews of a product. So we were talking about improving, weren't we, as the way to differentiate. Well, what do you know? When I looked in the reviews of that nail file, I saw somebody say the only negative is I wish there were more baby discs in it. There are only 2. And there you go. You've got the actual way to differentiate by including that in your product offer. It's amazing. Okay, so who is now ready for some ideas to get them started? So we're going to run through 5 different product ideas that you can investigate and you can look into selling yourself with private label. So the first product that we looked through, and Bruce has smashed the 1 button already. Awesome, Bruce. Very keen, my man. So the first one that we found are some anxiety relief stress balls. These, obviously, stress balls are not new to people and they don't need to be. Remember, we're not inventing new products. We're just doing a really good job with branding. Now, the reason that I like this product is it's not fragile. It's not made of glass, is it? It's cheap to ship. It's very, very small and lightweight. It's brandable. These guys have done a good job here. It's something you can gift. I love products that are giftable because you always see an increase in sales at Christmas, around birthdays, whenever. It's a really, really good thing to have as part of your product. And the profit margin is 30% plus. And we had strong sales demand of about $21,000 a month. So, guys, whether you're on your phones, computer, whatever, take a snapshot of this because I'm going to go through each one. And I'm going to, give you some ideas that you can actually offer yourself. The next one, and this is big in the US market. I'm not quite sure it was big in the UK market, but it was intriguing nonetheless, is an electric gel blaster gun. And, you know, just like before, this is something that's great because it's brandable, it's giftable for kids, maybe even for adults. I must admit, it's something that I could see myself running around using. So it's, yeah, absolutely. It's giftable, fast growing demand. So this is a very new product. You guys may not have seen or heard of this before, like you did the stress ball. And it's making a cool $67,000 per month. So that's number 2. Number 3, again, this is something that I hadn't actually seen before, and I thought it's a really cool idea. Is a bonsai kit for making it home. So the profit margin, we looked it up, it was over 30%. Lots of areas that you can customize. You can change the, you know, color of the bonsai's leaves. You could probably even change the plant pot, and so on and so on. And you've got demand there of about $18,000 a month, which is fantastic. Anything over $5,000 a month, I would say, guys, is something that should, you know, raise your eyebrows so you can kind of look into in a bit more detail. The next one is a hot stones massage set. It's again quite a new niche. It's not something that I've seen before. It's growing very quickly. You've got an attractive amount of profit per unit. So these things cost on average about $60. So on a 30% margin, you're going to be making just under $20 a piece. So if you can sell 10 of those a day, just 10, that's $200 in your pocket, and you haven't even had to do anything, which is lovely, lovely stuff. So that's the hot stones massage set. And then this one was probably my favorite. It's something that I'd definitely buy if I had a pet, is an AirTag cat collar. So this thing hooks up to your iPhone or your Android, and you basically just put it on your dog or cat's collar, and it will tell you where they are if they like to wander off. So these things, as you might expect, are also growing very rapidly in demand. Very high margin. You know, even though people are charging between 12 and 15, these things cost, because they're so small, it's just a little tiny like circuit board. They're costing like less than $1. So really, really healthy margin. So those are the ideas. Now, this is probably going to be helpful for Skype Girl and other people that are considering, you know, getting started without my help, or just, you know, want to get the ball rolling ASAP. So I just wanted to run through a couple of rules, Amazon's, that some people may not know, and breaking them could actually result in you getting your account suspended, or just getting an email that tells you off. So the first thing is, you're not allowed to register for more than one seller's account without permission. And I do frequently get this as a question. You might be thinking, why would you want to do that? Some people want to start a business, you know, themselves, and then also partner with somebody else. You're not allowed to do that unless Amazon say so. And if you do go on to do it, you can't sell in the same category. So that's the first rule. The next one is, when you're creating your account, if you select individual, which a lot of people again do, because it says, who are you? Are you a business or an individual? If you select individual, you'll get banned, and Amazon needs to be clearer on this. Individual, if you look at the definition, means somebody selling without the intent of making profit. They don't want to make profit, so it's like a charity. So when creating your account, you either need to select you're a company or a sole proprietor. And I have seen that so many times. I've had people enroll on the academy, and they've emailed me and said, I registered before I did your course, and I've already got myself banned because I did it wrong. And I say, this is why it's important to read the rules. The next one, make too many changes to your account. And this is basically fraud prevention. If you start changing your password, your email, bank account, if you change your mind on, you know, what email you want to use, it will raise red flags, and it will possibly get you banned. Plagiarizing other listings, I think that one is kind of obvious. So as I mentioned before, you can't copy and paste. Take influence, but don't copy. Selling patented or trademark products without the owner's permission. So that's something that, you know, you can't do. You can't like start selling, I don't know, your own phone and call it the iPhone. That's a trademark. So that's not permitted. And manipulating reviews. So you guys have probably seen this in the news before. Amazon really, really clamped down on review malpractice. So no fake 5 stars, nothing like that. If you follow those rules, guys, you don't need to worry about getting suspended, because those are the most common rules that, you know, people break. So I hope you're all pumped. Who enjoyed that section, and who is now ready to learn how to source suppliers of those type of products? So that baby nail file. Give me a 1 in the comments if you guys are still here, and if you are enjoying the content. I hope you are. I don't want to see anything else, any other zeros or anything. My man Bruce is first again. Awesome. He's like got his finger on the keyboard clearly for the gift card later. Fantastic. Okay, so let's now go through sourcing and suppliers. So the question that might come to mind. So Rico's saying, can I go back one slide? I'm not sure. It might have been this one. So whilst I've gone back on that one, I'm just going to talk about sourcing and suppliers. So you might be thinking, as I was, okay, well, I might have found a product, but I don't know who to get it from. Do I just, go down the market? Do I look in the yellow pages or what? Well, no. You can use the internet. Again, the internet's just fantastic, isn't it? We're so blessed, so blessed. And there's a big website, and it's essentially the Amazon of the supplier world. It's grown to become one of the biggest companies in the world, and it's called Alibaba. So you head on to Alibaba and you search for your product, and you can find suppliers for that product. And to kind of remove a step out of that, AMZ Scout's got a little button within its database where you can literally press the Alibaba button there, and it will immediately take you to the right page. So, if you can't find it yourself, or you just are on AMZ Scout's page, you can click it and boom, you found the supplier. So this is what I did. I went on to Alibaba, or rather I clicked onto AMZ Scout's link and it searched by the picture instead. And well, I basically found the supplier that I think this seller that we were looking at before actually used. You can see that fourth picture there looks identical. It's amazing. It's like so easy, and even easier if you were just on Amazon randomly and you weren't actually on the AMZ product database. You just press this little button here as well at the top of the extension. It's so easy, and AMZ Scout provide loads of detailed information. They kind of have their own plugin for Alibaba that allows you to quickly search for suppliers, not just in China. If you don't want to source from China, some people don't. Vietnam, Philippines, Pakistan, India, US, wherever. You can do it all with the help of AMZ Scout and Alibaba. So this one here, you can see, is identical to that awful listing that we had before. And that really sparked my interest because you can see the price that they're paying and the fact that they've just put no effort in. It looks to me like they've just copied and pasted the images. I mean, you could tell from that one on the left that it was zero effort, but when you see that on the right, it just makes you think it's probably just some guy that's just saved it down and re-uploaded it, and he's making a fortune. So this is what you need to do, guys. Once you're on Alibaba and you find the supplier that you like the look of, you click into the listing, much like you would on Amazon, and you press that big orange button that says Contact Supplier. Now, if you're thinking, what do I say? What do I ask? Don't worry, because I've got some key questions for you to ask here. Now, the purpose of these questions is to extract as much information from the supplier as you can in one message, because these guys don't really have time for back and forth. So you write to the supplier and you give the impression that you are not the boss. You are purchasing manager or whatever, and you keep referring to your boss. You say, we work for a, large European baby nail brand or something, say a baby company. And, my boss wants me to source baby nail files. And the reason we do that is it just makes negotiating so much easier, because it doesn't put you in a corner when you're talking to them and they're saying, no, $5, rather than you going, no, I want to pay $4. You say, sorry, but my boss only has the budget for $4. What can we do? Otherwise, he'll say no. Don't blame me. My hands are tied, and so on, right? It honestly is. That's one of my biggest tips. I've always does it, and it works a treat. I think some of my suppliers there that I've spoken to for the past 4 years now realize that I am the boss, but definitely in the early days do it. So these are the questions, guys. Take a picture of it. One of my big top tips that I like to drop, one of my value bombs, is that last question or the last 2 questions. And that's, a product research tip. It's how you can get your supplier to help you. So when I message this baby nail supplier here, rather than just saying how much are the nail files, I also said, what other items do you sell? And what is your most popular item? And please, can you send me your sales catalog if you have one? And they did, and it was full of pages and pages of products that I could look through and consider selling. So that is how you source suppliers, and those are the questions that you need to ask. So let's just kind of pretend that we're selling this baby nail file, and we've now found the supplier for it. Well, the next thing that we need to do is we need to make our listing. So the listing that we saw earlier is something that seller created. That is our responsibility. So as part 3 of my 5 steps to success, it's all about writing an amazing listing that converts. So if you're not familiar with like what is on an Amazon listing, it basically comprises of the title at the top there, the bullet points, the images, and the description. And all of those are incredibly important. I'd say the images are the most important because people, sometimes are too lazy to read descriptions. They just want to look at pictures. So you can see these images here, these chili bottles. These are the ones doing at least 70K a month, £70,000 or about $100,000 a month. These images, they're clear. They describe, the sizing. They talk about the benefits, and they give you, a real nice view of the product and the branding. It makes you want to buy. Now, creating a listing is really important. As I say, it's important that it's compelling, it's informative, and it's persuasive. But above all, and this is where it's really kind of this is where we're advantaged essentially versus the Chinese, because we are fluent in English, or we have a better understanding of English and a better understanding of our customer versus the Chinese. A lot of their listings are in poor English, and they just don't understand the customer. The type of things that they say, it doesn't resonate and it doesn't make sense. And we will come on to that in a moment. So title, bullets, description, images. And as I said, having a listing that is amazing is really important. So Chili's had an incredible listing, and let's look at what they're up against. So this is a listing that I found, and I don't think this will surprise you anymore how bad it was. So the picture on the left literally looks like somebody has just whacked the phone out, and not even a good phone, like one from 10 years ago, and taken a photo. The title, look at the state of that. It is hangs in bicycle, cycling, water bottle, bike. What? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The bullet points down there, this bike plastic drink bottle is designed with a dustproof lid. Really? Who cares? Do I care about a dustproof lid? It's not selling it at all, is it? The title is just horrific. And, the funny thing is, with this listing just being absolutely awful, they've got the cheek to charge £16.90, which is about £3 less than that Chili's bottle. So which one would you want to buy? And Bruce, my man, saying it's like a Wish description. It probably is a Wish seller trying their luck. It's utterly appalling. These are more pictures, believe it or not. The seller went, do you know what? That main image that I've just taken is brilliant, and I'm just going to take some more and add them because it's going to blow customers away. Awful, awful. Now, what we're going to do as a little fun exercise is I'm going to show you what the title and the bullet points were, and then I'm going to show you an improved version, how I made it better. And hopefully you guys will say that you would rather have bought from me rather than this person. So let's start with the title. Now, the title after the images, I'd say, is one of the most important parts because it's what attracts the customer to click. After they've looked at the picture, they'll look at the title. So it needs to communicate exactly what you're offering to the customer. And whilst it does need to use lots of keywords, it needs to make sense. That other seller was just jamming in keywords that didn't make any sense whatsoever. So this is why it's so important to make sure that it makes sense. So this is the title that sucked, that made no sense, and the brand hangs in. Who even knows what that means? And I sat down and I rewrote it. I pretended that I was selling this product, the water bottle, and I changed it to this. So the Drink Pal is what I renamed it, the brand. It's something I thought would resonate with the customer. The Drink Pal sports water bottle, BPA-free plastic drinks bottle with leak-proof lid. Reusable drinks bottle for sports, cycling, and other occasions. So you can see there, I've used pretty much all the same keywords that customers are using as the other seller, but it makes sense and it sells the product. Nobody is searching for dust-proof lid. They're more interested in things like leak-proof and the occasions that it can be used for. So I'm hoping that you guys think that my version is better because it communicates what the product is effectively, it gives benefits, key information, and it makes sense. So I know Bruce is probably going to be the first. Who's going to be the first to tell me that mine is better? Please don't say that Hangzins is better. Come on. I want to see some comments flowing through. There we go. Awesome. So I can see some people, yes, are coming through. Fantastic. Okie doke. So now the bullet points. So the bullet points are the second most important area after your images and title, so third rather. And they effectively need to show the high level benefits and uses of your product, short and snappy. They can't be long paragraphs. They can't be, pages and pages. Some people do that. So the way that I like to structure it, oh, I'm getting a lot of love for Drink Pal. Awesome. Maybe I should come out with my own Drink Pal bottle. So the most important thing that I like to do, or the format that I like to take, is put the problem that the customer faces at the beginning and then talk about the solution. People are on Amazon because they've got a problem that needs solving. Very rarely do they just go on Amazon and they're like, I'm going to just casually do some shopping. They'll typically say, right, I need a new water bottle, or, I want a new water bottle because I'm going on a cycling trip or something like that. They come onto Amazon because they've got a problem. So this is why we write the bullet points like this. So this is Hangzin's effort, which probably took them all of 10 seconds. And this is my effort. So I've done a little emoji and I've named what the problem is. So Bruce is saying, would you use your brand name in the title? It's a great question. Some categories do actually require you to put your brand name in. And I wanted to include it because I was really happy with the Drink Pal name. But yeah, you're right. What you can do is put it towards the end. But some categories you are required to put it in. It's up to you. Sometimes having a brand name can, as I say, improve conversion, especially if it's something where people would rather a branded product. So, it depends on the product. I certainly thought it looked better because of the name Drink Pal. So say goodbye to leaks. That's the problem. I'm hoping that customers are coming on because they've got a leaky bottle. And then I basically go through why my product solves it. It's high quality. It's leak proof. It's the perfect companion. Do you like that? The Drink Pal companion? Anybody? So, oh God, I'm awful, aren't I? So it's the perfect companion where you're cycling, playing sport on the go. No more nasty surprises from unwanted leaks. I thought, it states the problem. It uses those keywords again, and it makes sense. And above all, it's reinforcing the brand. It's making people go, yeah, Drink Pal, that sounds really cool. I've seen it mentioned numerous times. I'm going to buy. Now, the images, the next part is the pictures. So as you know, the famous saying, pictures say 1,000 words, and it's absolutely true. You need to make sure that you use them to your best ability. Amazon let you use 7 images, and they should, try to convey the benefits of the product as much as possible. Hangzin, that seller, just basically said, I'm going to upload the same image 7 times. And yeah, it's didn't work. It didn't work with me. So these are my tips here of what to do. Make them uncluttered, communicate the product, and show the product being used. And one real top saving tip from me is to have a 3D render made rather than having photographs. So if you're thinking, what's a 3D render? Well, it's essentially a computer made graphic. So Hangzin on the left here, you can see that is a photo. It's grainy, it's low quality. There's like imperfections on the product because it's obviously a very low quality product. And this one on the right, this one that I love, is a 3D render. That is not a real image. It's made on the computer. So a designer has made it. And again, if you're thinking, I don't know how to do that, you can get people to do it on Fiverr really cheaply. That, a water bottle is a relatively simple product to design. So it would not cost you much at all. And I've got tons of recommendations that I give to my students that produce amazing renders. Sometimes it's really hard to tell if it's a render or real life. So that is the listing creation part. We've kind of rectified that last person's listing, so you can see now how to make a bad listing good. So the way that it works in reality is we'd get our product to, we'd order our product with our supplier, we'd create listing, and then we create something known as a shipping plan within Amazon, which is where we basically say to Amazon, we're going to be sending goods to you. And Amazon say, yep, all good, send 1,000 units to this warehouse, and they'll give you your carton label that you stick on. So let's assume that we've done that. We've got our product on the way. It's really exciting. We now need to get ready for our launch. Now, once the product is on the way, that is basically when you need to start preparing for the launch, which is essentially a 2-week period where the objective is to try and appear as high as possible in the search results when a customer searches for our product. And your position in the search results comes down to many things. The exact science behind it is not fully known. Amazon won't reveal it, but we do know that your sales per day, your sales velocity, as it's called, and the level of conversion, so how many customers are buying as a proportion of customers that view your listing, those two are really, really important. Now, the way that we can improve both of those is threefold. So I like to call it the Jansen strategy because it's something that I've just rinsed and repeated for all of my products. So I first like to launch with a really attractive price that just makes customers think, this is a no-brainer, I'm buying. And by doing that, it's increasing the conversion because they go on my product, they buy, and it increases my sales per day. So what I would advise is, for a very temporary period, lower the price slightly to below your competitors so that the offer is irresistible. Don't do big discounts because we don't want the product to appear cheap. But at the same time, do a little discount so customers think that's great, great value. And you can get an idea of, a sensible price to charge, which you should know from working out your profit, is by looking at your competitors. So that's the first strand. The next strand is to do with advertising. Now, advertising on Amazon is called pay-per-click, and it basically means that you can appear on the front page. You can cheat by paying for each click that you get. So these guys here at the top, they are all paying to be there. When you type in posture corrector, they are not there naturally. They're saying to Amazon, I will give you 50 cents or 50p, provided that you get me clicks. And every time a customer clicks, they'll be charged 50 cents or 50p, and they may get a sale. And advertising, allows you to start making sales immediately. There have been days, or there have been times where I've launched products and I've been making sales, within an hour of them reaching the fulfillment center, because as soon as they've arrived, I've started this launch strategy, the irresistible price, and the pay-per-click advertising, and I've got to that front page position. And doing that means that you're going to start to build an organic position, which is these positions at the bottom underneath the second row where you're not paying. And those are the ones that are the most profitable. Now, the third strand, which I haven't got a separate slide for, is to do with reviews. You need to get some initial reviews, and you can do that by enrolling in Amazon's special program that it has, where it will get you reviews for free. Or alternatively, you can ask other people in your network. That is officially not allowed, so you didn't hear that from me, but that is what a lot of people do to get a couple of additional reviews. So those are the kind of elements that you need to launch. And if you follow those steps there, if you've got a good product, if you've got, an amazing listing like the Chili's water bottle, and you've got, a good PPC campaign that you're appearing at the top for, you should start to see sales really, really quickly. And that's what happened to me. Remember my sales from the beginning, where I made £4,500 revenue, $5,000 revenue in my second week. It's because I followed that strategy there. Now, the fifth part is all about scaling, improving your sales as much as possible. And this is exactly how I've managed to increase my sales more and more and more every single month to get to that point of about £80,000 revenue per month on kind of a run rate. So the first kind of avenue, your first port of call should always be Amazon. You shouldn't look to expand off of Amazon until you have exhausted your options. And, that's going to be a huge amount of sales. So first do that. And then in addition to that, you can then expand to Amazon's other marketplaces at the click of a button. So if you're in the US, you can expand to Europe, Australia, Japan. If you're in the UK, you can do US, and so on and so on. It's really easy. And you just click a button to say, yeah, enroll me. And then you just get your supplier to send goods. You can do Facebook and Google ads, your own website, which is what I've done, Shopify and Wix. I get sales near enough every day on my own web store, and I just get Amazon to fulfill them directly for me. I still don't need to go to the post office. Amazon can still do it for you. Then I've also had a lot of luck with influencers and blogs and magazines. I actually got my product into 3 different review sites, and I got that for free, and it increased my sales, massively. And that was really easy. All I did is I mailed them and said, would you like to review? It's an amazing product. And they said, yeah. And that last one, contacting retail stores, is something that I'm on the verge of doing, getting my product into stores around the country. And that is how you do it, guys. It's, it's a simple process that you can follow. And I think, when you don't understand how private labeling and how this all works, you might think it's really, really hard, but you just follow my 5 steps to success there. And, before you know it, you'll be running your own retail empire. Now, one of the main reasons that causes beginners to fail is down to this word here, execution. And it's really, really important that you understand this. So it's imperative that you execute every single part of these 5 steps to the best of your ability, because it all needs to be held together by the glue, which is execution. And the way to explain that is, if you have the best product in the world that cures COVID, it gets rid of COVID, and it ends wars and just solves everybody's problems, but your supplier is awful and they can't get it to you on time, there's delays, or they don't reply to you, then you're not going to succeed, right? Or if you have the best product in the world and the best supplier in the world, but your listing sucks and you don't explain the benefits of your product, why it's so good to the customer, you do a really rubbish effort like Hangs In, then you're not going to succeed, because customers don't know how amazing it is. All of these steps need to be executed like to the best of your ability, and they need to be done professionally and, you know, with due diligence and care. Basically, that's something that does trip a lot of people up. Now, let me remind you of how it feels to be making sales and profit without leaving the house. So you guys will remember at the beginning of the tutorial, I showed you my sales. I think I was on 175. So what I'm going to do now is load up Amazon, and I hope, I can't promise anything, I'm a little nervous that my sales have gone up. So there's the 175, and we're going to refresh, and what's it going to do? 184. So we've gone up an additional, my quick maths, we've gone up 9 sales in the hour that we've been doing this. So I'm really happy with that. 9 sales, and my average kind of profit per unit is around £5 or dollars or so. So it's around, what is it? Well, quick math, $50 or so that I've done just by doing this. And I'm doing that every single hour of the day. So you can see now how amazing it is. I haven't left the room. I've just been doing something else. And this is why Amazon FBA is not an opportunity to be missed. So just to kind of summarize, you know, how quickly things can progress, I wanted to show you or highlight the key milestones of my journey. So I started in May, started selling in August. So about 5 months, 6 months later. No, that's bad maths, isn't it? 3 months later. And then October, I hit 10K in sales. And then 2 years or 18 months later, $750,000 in sales. And since then I've grown. So my sales today, in terms of revenues, is £2,700. It's about $3,000, which, you know, is amazing. And if you look at my sales in the past week, £20,000 in the past week. So it's £80,000 revenue. And, you know, it came from somebody that had all of these doubts at the beginning of their journey. So if I can do it, if I can go from that to being like this now, which is I have products to sell, I know what to sell, I don't need to have invented anything, I have e-commerce experience, and so on and so on. All of these things, if I can do all that, then honestly, you absolutely can. It is a mindset thing. You just need to have the confidence in yourself. Now, in terms of the timeline of action, I hope that you guys are all pumped and you're all excited and you're ready to start the journey. There's absolutely no reason why you can't get started today to put things into action. And all you need, guys, to get started is a laptop, an internet connection, and for your stock, about $1,000. And honestly, you'll be surprised at how quickly things can progress. You saw my progression there, and you've seen some of my students' progression. You could be selling in, you know, 8 weeks your own private label product. So you've now got 2 choices to make, and this is a really important choice because it's something that I just like made the choice of when I first learned, and I got it wrong. And because I got it wrong, I wasted 5 months, right? And I could have lost all interest in it, but fortunately I didn't. So you can either go the hard way or the easy way. And the hard way is just going, thank you, Jansen, this is it now. I'm just going to go and do it on my own. I'm going to go and watch YouTube and I'll be fine. And that is exactly what I did. I was buzzing, as you saw. I was full of the best intentions. But after 4 months, I'd done nothing. I had no mentor, no network, no guidance, nothing. And I just felt completely lost. And whenever I went on YouTube to have a look at how to do things, information was conflicting. It was outdated. There was too much. I didn't know what I was missing. And I just felt, you know, completely overwhelmed. Now, if you go alone, if you decide to do this alone, genuinely, I've seen it happen time and time again. I run a massive public group on Facebook, the Amazon Smashers. It's about 6,000 members. I constantly see people posting, I've ordered 1,000 units and I can't sell them. Does anyone want to buy it? Etc. It's no surprise that I never see that in my private members group, because these guys have the right education. They know what they're doing. If you go it alone, what is likely to happen is that you'll feel lost and confused. You'll make contact with poor quality suppliers and get taken advantage of because you don't know how to identify the best ones. You'll waste money buying products that just don't sell. And I guarantee you what will happen, you'll become demotivated, stressed, and you'll just say, Amazon's overcrowded, it doesn't work. And then you'll start, just if anyone ever asks you on it, you'll say, nah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it does. You've seen, I'm still launching products. I have students still launching products. We've got Bruce in the group watching now. He'll tell you there's people in the private mastermind group every single week pretty much posting that they are generating money and they're getting awards. So that is likely what to happen. Now, the alternative, and I had a lot of fun making this image or images, as you'll see, is to come with me as your guide, right? I have been doing this for 4 years now. I've launched over 15 products and I've coached over 1,000 students on the topic. And the benefit of doing it with me, leading you up the mountain, is that you're not going to waste time sifting through outdated rubbish. You're going to have me to ask as your mentor. You're going to have somebody to say, what do you think to this, Jansen? Is this a good idea? Can you give me a second opinion? You're just basically going to be given the guidance and support that you need to get to where you want to be as quickly as possible. And the way that I see it is that it's like me guiding you up a mountain. Like, yeah, you can learn to climb Everest on your own, but you're probably going to hurt yourself, make mistakes, get lost, get demotivated, and then just decide that it's not worth it. Or you can go with a Sherpa, me, who can show you the shortcuts, show you the safe ways, tell you what's right and wrong about your technique, and so on and so on. And I also did this one as a little personal trainer. It's the exact same as being a personal trainer. You can get fit on your own going for a run, or you can get a personal trainer, join the best gym with the best equipment, have the best tuition, and basically get to where you want to be quickly and without losing money, without making mistakes. So learn from my mistakes. I won't lie, I have made them. But the good thing is they're all in the course. They're all kind of thing that, I say, these are the mistakes I made. This is what you should avoid, and so on and so on. So learn from my mistakes so you don't make them too. You can stop wasting time and stressing on, what you need to look up and what you need to learn. It's all there for you. And you can just focus on what is most important, right? Which is you and your business. So let me get you to where you want to be. Get to that 6 figures, that 7 figures as quickly as possible. And this leads me to talk to you about the Smashers Academy, which is a mentorship program that I have. I referenced it earlier. We've got over 1,000 students, 1,000 members, and it comprises of so much value that it's just ridiculous. And it gives you absolutely everything that you need to become a success. So the first part is the course. So it's a membership zone only available to my members that is full. I counted them today. It's 150 individual videos, all clearly laid out in separate modules with absolutely everything that is in my head and more. I've honestly put in so much effort, and I've actually been redoing this entire course. And to show you how much effort I put into it, I'm about to release it to my current students tomorrow, and anyone that enrolls will get that auto enrollment for free. It's taken me over 6 months to kind of write, film, script, everything. So there's so much content in there. It's absolutely everything that you need to become a success. So that's the course. We've got kind of a summary here. So, talking about what's in it. You've got financials, not just about Amazon, but creating a business, taxes, rules there, how to find products. So going through 9 other methods to find products, how to import safely and correctly and legally and not get ripped off, how to create the best listings step by step. Absolutely everything is in there to, give you the best chances of success. The only thing that is needed is you, right? The additional effort from you. You've also got quizzes, checklists, and cheat sheets, which are included. So all of my notes, my quizzes to ensure that you understand everything that I've taught, and checklists so that you can go, yep, I've done that. So that you don't, lose track of anything and make mistakes. the kind of main component of value here is my mentorship. So you can email me, you can message me, and you'll receive 24/7 as an entrepreneur. You know, it's 10:30 here and I'm still hustling. I don't really take time off already. Bruce will tell you, but I'm very, very active in the groups, very quick to reply on emails. If you have a question about the course, about selling on Amazon, about what product to pick, anything, you just ask me, right? And having a mentor just will allow you to get that shortcut. You can just cut the queue, say to me, Jansen, how do I do this? Or what do you think to this? Rather than wasting time and stressing out and just panicking and getting it wrong. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to chuck in a few more bonuses. So we've got my exclusive tools and scripts that I put together. So all of these tools will essentially allow you to save money because they'll allow you to do your bookkeeping without having to pay for additional software. They will work out your profits to the T, so you know you're not making a loss. And the great thing is, I give you all of my emails, all of my scripts, everything that you need so that you don't really have to engage your brain when you message suppliers, when you message customers. All my questions that you need to ask are there. It's so simple. It's copy and paste done for you. Now, in addition to that, the guys at AMZ Scout are also throwing in their entire tool set, all of it, for 1 year. So you're going to get a year's membership included in this, and that's going to include all the tools that we've run through today. So that toolbar, the database searcher, profitability analysis, keyword searcher, tracking performance, everything that you need to run the business, basically. And all of that is included for a year. You'll also get their monthly insights and quarterly insight reports, which will tell you the trends and the kind of product areas that are increasing in popularity. So, you know, those can be bought separately, but those are included. And then those are included in this package today. And there you go. So that is the entire kind of AMZ Scout tool set summary there. Tons and tons of tools. The total value for that alone, I believe, not including those little packs, is $642 to be precise. Now, in addition to that, every month in the Smashers Academy private group, we hold monthly live Q&A sessions, a bit like this, where I'll either do a live coaching session, which, you know, is at the request of my students. So if students say, Jansen, can you cover shipping or, you know, something else, then I'll do it. We'll also do live student interviews if somebody's just won an award, where you can see on the right, I was interviewing Sam. She hit 10K in sales, so we invited her on to talk about how she did it and any tips and tricks. And then we've also got a Q&A session at the end. So, you know, live Q&A where guys can just say, Jansen, what do you think to this? How to do that, etc. Those sessions are a huge amount of fun, and they also allow everyone to just like engage with each other, motivate each other. You're surrounded by like-minded individuals, basically, that all have the same goals and that all want to help each other succeed. So you'll also get to join this Smasher student support group where those sessions are hosted. And like I say, we've got hundreds of members in there that post every day, that swap stories, that post their awards. We've also got my Smasher School program, which is designed to basically get you to the position of launching a product within 12 weeks. So you'll get an email every single week. You can do it quicker if you like, or you can do it slower if you like, but they're designed to kind of come out every 7 days or so, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do in order to, you know, get on track and be launching a product within 12 weeks. And as I mentioned earlier on, you will get updates. So as I just said, we've got the new Smashers Academy releasing tomorrow. It's only releasing to current students tomorrow. It's not a public release, and it's all 2022 kind of filmed. It's the latest tips and tricks, and you're going to get access to that as well entirely for free. I'm not one of those people that charges you for updates. There's so many of them out there. What you see, the price point is all you will pay. Everything else, updates, mentorship, it's lifetime. You don't pay a single penny more. And in addition to that, you will also get all my recommendations whenever you need help on images, logo design, shipping companies, listing creation. I have recommendations, I have discounts. You basically don't need anything else. I am your man. So all of that amazing package there, all listed out for you. So 6 bonuses, and then there's additional points, and you can see kind of the value that you're getting. That mentorship alone I can assure you people kind of pay for just one-to-one support with me without going through the academy. And I always say to them, you should go through the academy. It works out cheaper. But all of that there comes to $10,700. But for today, for this webinar session only, it's $697, which honestly, if you go on my Smashers Academy site now and have a look, you will see it is more. This is a special one-off deal. And if you would like it, all you need to do is press get the deal now, which should be on the right of the screen. Or if it's not, you can get your phone out and you can go on the camera, and then you can literally go to the barcode where that little dinosaur is, and then just tap the button when it appears on your camera when it scans it, and it will take you to the page. If you can't figure how to do that, if your camera isn't capable of it, amzscout.net/get/bundle Smith. So this is a time limited offer. Everything is there for you to get started. And I can see someone's just said it's very plug and play. It is. The only thing that is needed, the only thing that I can't do for you is to get you to, go through the material and to actually put it into practice. So I believe that you can pay with PayPal credit when you go through the checkout process, and they will give you pay in 3 or pay in 4. So you can pay over 4 months if that is something that you'd like to do. But this, this deal here, honestly, like I say, is an absolute steal. And it's actually less than what I paid 4 years ago for a similar program. So Brian's saying, is it in pounds as well? So it's $697. So that's about $550, I think, thereabouts. So that includes, guys, that lifetime access to all the lessons, everything, over 150 lessons in my new academy as well, which is going to go up in price. Then you've got unlimited mentorship and support from me. Then you've got all those bonuses. So the copy and paste scripts, my profit tools, AMZ Scout, the live Q&A, the private mastermind group, the 12-week acceleration program, and updates. And yes, Skype Girl, the price today is $697. That is just for this offer. It's not going to be available after then. And you can see we've still got some of my students. I really appreciate that watching. And Bruce saying, really good course, so much content. And honestly, Bruce is going to be buzzing at this because that was, my existing course, the new course that I've done over the last 6 months, coming out tomorrow. So everybody that enrolls tonight is also going to get access to it. That to me blows it out the water. It's like a lot more, detailed, and it's just, amazing. So as I say, one-off deal, special deal. Now, let me just put that price into perspective if I didn't already. I made that back within the first 2 weeks of me selling. And the revenue that I earned in my first year of selling, just my first year, is around 0.1% of the cost of this. So it is minuscule. It is tiny, tiny in comparison. And that's what I want to get you guys to. We have so many students that start selling and they generate the cost of it back within, just a couple of weeks. And that is what I want to get you guys to do as well. And here's just like bits of feedback that I've had from students. So much more info that you get from YouTube. I know that some of you guys on the right, I can see Andy saying it's really, really worth it. Great deal. So thank you very much, Andy. Simon, who is our 100K club winner, couldn't have done it without all the help I've received. He messaged me today, actually, and he said he's nearing 25K in a month. George, I woke up this morning to 3 sales while I slept. I'm absolutely buzzing. He's a 10K winner now. Wazif, the opportunity is real. Just put in the effort and you'll get rewards. He's a 10K winner now. All these guys are in the 10K club. Nick said, I made a profit of £2,200, which I'm chuffed with, especially at launch. That was in his first month of selling. That's easily covered the cost of joining. Taylan said, Jansen's a brilliant mentor, so I'm blowing smoke up my behind now, and has helped me develop a newfound passion. 10K in under a month of being selling. These results are not one-off, guys. We've got tons of people. Yesterday I did 17 sales. I'm chuffed. If you go onto my Trustpilot or into the Facebook group, whatever, you'll see tons and tons of these people that are, that followed my guidance and they're making, passive profits, basically. I'm totally gobsmacked. I can't stop smiling from Chloe. I love this because this is exactly how I felt. Jansen supported me throughout the year, always respond to my questions. And as I say, guys, all you got to do is drop me an email. My Trustpilot, I've got about 140 reviews, 4.9 rating. And look, these kind of comments that I've highlighted here, these are all the points, the highlights of the value of a mentor scheme. So it saves money, time, and mental health. The best thing is Jansen's help. I message him at odd times and he always replies. If you message me and it comes through on my phone, I will get back to you, as soon as you see it, as soon as I see it, whether it's a Saturday, Sunday, it doesn't really matter. This course has been life-changing for me. That's Tony. He's in the 10K club. Sally, the mentorship is invaluable. Chloe, don't hesitate. You can read all of that on my Trustpilot. And this is what happens, guys, when you hit that 10K. You get one of these really cool awards. As I say, it's costing me a fortune because I have to pay my designer for these. And the amount of people getting them is insane. Like, we're getting them at least every week at the moment. So we've got Tony, Jess, Joe, Jenna, Lee, and Ellen. That's just 4 there. We've got these guys here, and they're so proud of getting these. It's an amazing achievement. Imagine how happy you are going to feel making your own product, your own brand, and putting it on Amazon, and strangers out there are buying it and they're leaving positive reviews and they're loving it and recommending it to friends. There's no better feeling. Honestly, sometimes I think it's better than making the profit. The actual fact that people love your brand. I get emails all the time from customers saying, you are a genius inventing this product. It's fantastic. And I'm like, I didn't invent it. Well, I don't say that. I just go, yeah, thank you. All I've done is private label. People don't know what private labeling is. So, they basically just see the product and think that you're the inventor. So think how amazing that could feel. We've got all these people here absolutely loving it. And, these are all recent as well. So February 2022, these are ones that have just come out this week. It's every single week, like I say. So not only, guys, have you seen my results, but you've also seen my students' results. So you can see that, this works. And this is the package. So as I said, this is honestly, it's a one-off. You've got my students in the group here, and these guys are, saying this is really good. It is genuinely a really good deal. Like, I'm not just saying that. It's a one-off, and it's just a special that I've kind of agreed with AMZ Scout to provide AMZ Scout viewers and people that we know. So just to kind of summarize it all again, you've got everything that you need: the structure, the support, the guidance, absolutely everything that you need to get to where you want to be, which hopefully is selling and then turning that selling into a 6-figure business and then a 7-figure business, right? I'm doing about £80,000 revenue a month at the moment. If I can get just £3,000 additional sales per month, which is only a day, that's turned me into £1 million business per year, right? And I started from that $3,000 investment with no experience. And I've followed the same path as you guys. I was doing one of these webinars, and then that's it. I just put in the work, and it's just gone on from there. And I've created my own brands, having got a D, bottom of the class, got suspended from art. I was awful. I've done it all because I've just followed a tried and tested kind of pathway. So this is the summary here. If you would like to take advantage of this one-off deal, I've just seen it. It says the exclusive offer is here. It's at the top right of the screen. You can click the link, or you can get your phone out and take a picture of the barcode and tap it, and it will load it. And then you can alternatively go onto the website at the bottom, amzscout.net/get/bundlesmith. I did just want to see myself. So I was on 184, and there you go, gone to 187. So whilst I've been talking about this, I've done another 3 sales, which is another 15 quid profit. So you can throw that onto that £50 profit. So that's now 65 in the time that I've been doing that. Like, how many of you guys work in jobs that, don't even pay that for, say, 6 hours work or maybe a full day or whatnot? Like, this is honestly unmissable. The opportunity is right now, not only because of this deal, because of this absolute steal of a deal, but also online shopping is growing exponentially at a crazy rate, and it's still in its infancy, 1 in 5. So that is the deal. Now, I want to, for those of you that are still on, I can see that we've still got around 100 people that's still on at the moment. It's now for the prize, the $100 gift card. And this one is going to be random. So Bruce, my man, even though you have been incredibly quick throughout all of this, if you are still on, you are going to have the chance still to get this gift card. It's going to be random, and all you need to do is answer this question. And I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to answer so I can let people catch up, because I think some people are on a bit of delay. The prize is a $100 gift card. And the question is, what does PPC stand for? So type the answer and your email so we know who to contact. So I'm going to give you... there we go. I was worried there that the answer was going to be on the next page. So what does PPC stand for? So type it in and your email as well. And then I'm just going to give you a moment whilst we're just waiting. And then I'm going to scroll up and down, and then I'm going to pick one completely at random. And you can just put the answer in your email once. I can see lots of answers coming through, and thankfully they're all correct, which is great. So if you guys have any questions about this package, about me, about AMZ Scout, anything you like, we've kind of done my age, haven't we? Guess my age. So yeah, if you'd like to know anything else, do feel free to put it in. So awesome. I can see lots and lots of answers coming in. So if you stop answering now, I'm going to scroll up and down. And here we go. I'm going to scroll up and down, and we're going to go here. Okay, so congratulations to Ashley Tiernan. Well done, Ashley. You correctly said it was pay-per-click. So, Ashley, we will write your email down, or Lena from AMZ Scout will write your email and we'll send you that. So, congrats. I will email you tomorrow, actually, to confirm what currency you want it as well. But well done. Amazing, amazing. And I'm really, really proud of all of you guys that actually got the answer pay-per-click. I've been, on webinars before where I've asked a question and they've just been all over the place, which showed that people didn't actually pay attention. So well done. Now, what I want to ask you guys is, in the grand scheme of things, if this opportunity here, I appreciate that we've been throwing around some big numbers. I've been saying, some sellers doing 1 million a month, some's doing 100,000 a month, whatever. But let's, kind of be humble about this and kind of think logically. If this opportunity here, doing it, enrolling on the academy and starting to sell, if it allowed you to make an additional $1,000 or £1,000 a month, would it be worth it? So kind of it'd be amazing, obviously, to do £20,000 80, but $1,000 a month, do you think it'd be worth it? And think of what that $1,000 or £1,000 could do each month. You could eat out every week if you can't, afford to do that at the moment. You could have a holiday, a long weekend away every month, or a couple of holidays every year. You could stay in nice hotels. You could treat your partner. You could have bigger Christmases. There's so much that you can do with $1,000. And I think it's important to mention that, because I think sometimes people get a bit carried away with the big numbers and they go, oh, well, I only want to do this for £20,000. And when I started this, the whole reason I started was to get rid of my anxiety from work, because I was afraid that I would lose my job and not have, a backup plan. And AMZ, selling on Amazon changed my life, because it's given me that comfort blanket. Initially, yeah, it was a couple of £1,000 a month, but honestly, that made me so much more confident at work, because I wasn't terrified that I'd get fired and not be able to pay the mortgage. I knew that I had this behind me. And I think on YouTube, you see adverts, people going Lamborghini, $100,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. Let's be real here. Okay. If you're starting with $1,000, then a target of $1,000 earnings a month is kind of what you should look at. And that to me is worth it. That extra holiday a year, that extra, few meals out a month, whatever. So if it allowed you to have an extra holiday a year, I'm guessing you guys would say, yeah, we all want to go away, especially now that COVID's out of the way. Or for you to reduce your hours at work, or Cedar's saying, or to reinvest. That's exactly what I've done. I haven't actually ever taken money out. It's just the fact that I know that it's there. That is the comfort blanket. I am just, reinvesting. Then that's how I've managed to get to my position. Or for you to reduce your hours at work. How amazing would that be? Do you think this opportunity would be worth it? Or to spend more time with family and friends? Now, myself, I answered yes to some of these questions, and my students have all answered yes to at least one of those questions. And then we've gone on and done it. We haven't just said, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, or anything like that. We've done it, right? And that is what I'm trying to encourage you to do now, because I know what happens. Life gets in the way. You get distracted. I have it all the time. I have people email me and they say, Jansen, I'm so excited. I'm going to, enroll at the end of next month, or I'll do it at Easter when I have a little holiday. And then I never hear from them again. And when I email them, they just say, oh yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm going to carry on with my job. Now is the right time, when you're full of energy, when you know about how amazing this opportunity is and it's fresh in your mind and you can commit to it and actually make it happen. I can help you make it happen. And you've seen what's happened to all of my students. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, in your own education, in order to turn your life around and to essentially be able to focus on what's important, which is your business. So, regardless of whether you decide to come on board with me or not, join the family, join the smashers that we've got, which of course I would love you to do. But, regardless of that, I really, really would like you to take home these points that I've gone through today and take action. If you're here at this point now, then, you're better motivated than so many. So this is, as somebody that does a lot of marketing online, this will be interesting to you. So we promoted this AMZ Scout webinar to a lot of people. AMZ Scout, I've got a huge mailing list. I asked AMZ Scout before, we had about 1,500 registrants that registered for the webinar, right? And in total, they said to me, we think we'll have about 150 actually turn up, only 10%. Now, what does that tell you about the majority of people? It is that they can't be bothered. They think, yeah, I'll do it, I'll change my life, but then they don't. So I'm really, really impressed that you guys that are still on now, we've got over 70 of you. It tells me that you do want to actually take action and change your life. And regardless of whether you come on board with me or not, please, you're still on this now, so you've got it in you. Take action. Post a message in my Facebook group, the Amazon FBA Smashers. Just get involved. Subscribe to my YouTube. Do whatever you want, and you can begin this, right? So just don't kind of let it slip by the way or anything else like that. Now I'm going to stay on the line for a bit and answer your questions. And I'm hoping, I was on 187 sales. There we go. Look, we're still going up. We're on 191 now. So, look, you can't really get much more proof than this, can you, that it works? I'm showing you live that my sales are going up. 191 sales today. And I think my memory is awful when I'm doing these things. I think we started on about 170, didn't we? So we've gone up 20 sales in the time we've been doing this. Now, Nick is saying, I just saw a question there, but it disappeared. I didn't have a chance to read it. Oh, as someone with a limited budget, what steps would you suggest in making the initial investment? It depends what your budget is. Ideally, you do need around $1,000. You need around $1,000 to kind of get started. There are other things that you can do. So you can do online arbitrage with a much lower budget. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see a video on how to get started with a limited budget. Private labeling is kind of the recommended business model, because you get monthly cash flows, monthly earnings, and you're building a brand that investors can buy at the end. So, you could sell your business within 12 months for 6-7 figures. I got an outreach from an investor after about 1.5 2 years. And that's what a lot of people do. They sell out, but I'm just so passionate about this. I'm not ready to sell. If you want to find my YouTube, it's just my name, Jansen Smith. It'll come up. Ellen has enrolled. Congrats, Ellen. Yeah, you'll get the confirmation shortly. Once I've finished this, you'll get all the email access. So don't worry. What else have we got? So yeah, guys, if you've got any other questions, no. Bruce. So did Bruce lose out because he didn't give his email? No, he didn't. It's because it was a random one. It was a random question rather than me picking the first. But I like how you're looking out for Bruce. He's got a big fan base. Congrats, Bruce. So for some reason, can you guys still hear and see me? For some reason, my chat thing's disappeared. So that is a summary of the package, guys. Like I said, if you want that package, it is a one-off. It is a special. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, guys. For some reason, my question box has frozen. I'm just going to message AMZ Scout. Oh, there we go. It's coming through now. I don't know what happened there. I wasn't sure if Webinar Jam were like, you've had too long. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions, guys. If you've got something about Amazon FBA, anything else like that, then feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll answer them. But if you do need reminding once again of how to get this amazing deal, you can press exclusive offer in the top right corner. You can go on amzscout.net/get/bundlesmith, or you can take a picture. Or alternatively, I think AMZ Scout will send an email out with the link. Can you speak on Amazon branding requirements? So yeah, that's a good question. I mean, in terms of branding, when you create your listing, if you want to do private label, then they will ask to see pictures of the product with the branding on it. But that is really, really easy. You get your supplier to do it. Or you use good old Photoshop if you haven't actually got the sample yet. Like I said, one of my products that I sell, I've never actually seen. I just got my manufacturer to make it and then shipped it straight over to Amazon. So I had to get the supplier to take pictures. So what else have we got? We've got Bruce. What does it mean when a supplier only offers X Works? Well, X Works just means the price of having the product manufactured only. So it doesn't include, transporting the goods to the port or export charges or anything else like that. It's just essentially the manufacturing price. And some suppliers just aren't really experienced in doing anything else apart from manufacturing, so they don't offer being able to spread to ship the product rather. So I wouldn't read too much into it if they do. Okay, so someone said, is Amazon wholesale risky? I wouldn't say, well, it's probably risky from the sense that you might buy a product that you're not permitted to sell. So some brands clamp down quite heavily on other sellers selling their products. So that's the kind of first thing that could be problematic. It's very difficult wholesale these days. Wholesalers don't really want to deal with Amazon sellers. There's so many of them, and it just causes them problems. And, the reason that I say private label is so much better than any other business model with Amazon is because you're building your brand. With wholesale, you're building somebody else's brand. So if I'm doing, wholesale, I don't know, boxes of Lego, for example, yeah, I might be making good money now, but at the end of 12 months, if I think, right, I want to sell my business, well, you can't, because you've built a Lego brand. You haven't built your own. And that's the reason why private label is just, amazing. So let's have a look. Rico, do you mind sharing your email? It's info@jansonsmith.com. If you go on my YouTube channel, every single video of mine has got my email in the description. So if you want to email me, I can see Cedar saying about the questions. There are 2 tabs for some reason. It keeps freezing when I keep flipping between the 2. What is the time frame for £1,000 per month profit? Well, that all depends on 2 things. So the first is how much do you have to invest. So if you only have £500 to invest, then obviously that is going to take, quite a bit of time. Whereas if you've got 10,000 to invest, it will take quicker. Now, what I advise my students to do is go for products with a profit margin of 30%. So that means for every £1 or $1 of revenue, they're making 30 pence additional back, right? So if you can find a product that generates $3,000 or £3,000 per month, and you've got a 30% profit margin, then that's what you're going to earn, right? The £1,000 or $1,000. And, you saw from my sales, my picture earlier on, in my second week of sales, I'd done £4,500 revenue. And that was actually a 20% margin. So it was about £1,000 profit right there, just under 1,000. So it just depends all on your amount to invest, and also you, of course. If you haven't got the time to put in, then it's going to take slower. But the Smashers Academy, my guidance can get you there in 10 to 12 weeks, I'd say, certainly. This is basically a course. No, I would disagree with that. If you want a course, then there's millions of those out there. This is a mentorship program. It's an academy. It's a network of people. It's so much more. If it was a course, it would just be videos and nothing else. Like if you look at my Trustpilot reviews, you'll see the biggest thing that people talk about is the access to the mentor, which is me. That it's like saying, climbing Everest. You can climb Everest just with a map book. That's all you need. Well, the map book is like the course, but it's the guide, the Sherpa, that is the real value. And that, that's kind of how I position the Smashers Academy, that the mentor is definitely the most valuable component. Somebody that's done this for 4 years now, launched multiple products, helped hundreds of people launch products. And I can tell you, if you're wasting your time, if you're going to waste money, and so on and so on. So to me, a course is just videos and no guidance or mentorship. And don't forget, it's lifetime, and I can help with absolutely anything. Building Shopify, investments, whatever. I often do become friends with my students, just from the amount of times that we chat and stuff. And we're going to have, now that COVID's kind of more or less out the way in the UK, restrictions have dropped. We're going to be having meetups, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, okay, I can see things coming now. Do we sell on the UK marketplace? It's entirely up to you. I have students that sell in the US, that sell in UK, Europe. I don't know anybody selling in Australia. It's a bit more of a junior market. It's not really as popular yet, but you can sell absolutely anywhere. Wherever Amazon is, you can sell there. Do I have any students from Pakistan? Yes, I do. I do actually. He's called Hashif, and he actually enrolled on this, I think, about a year ago now. I think it was this time last year, and he's now selling on Amazon in the UK. So yeah, we've got students from all around the world. But like I say, the deal's never been as good as this, especially getting the free upgrade tomorrow. And as I say, the price is going up for that. I don't think you can dropship on Amazon. Yes, you can. You can, well, not by the definition of dropshipping individual, but you can get your supplier to ship directly to Amazon. Yeah, you can. Do you have any tips about keeping inventory from being damaged by Amazon or being reimbursed? So it's not something that happens to me too frequently. That's one of the reasons why I say don't sell products that are fragile or glass. But generally speaking, I'd say get your supplier to pack them well, lots of bubble wrap and padding. And if your products get damaged by Amazon, it'll say warehouse damage, and you can get reimbursed the actual amount that you get had you sold them on Amazon normally. So that's my tips there. There's lessons in my course on like the full process, but it's actually quite straightforward. Karen, does AMG Scout work for the UK market? Yes, it does. Claudia, so I've got my health account at risk. I checked my cost per click of a keyword, see if the product was profitable. I'm going to get off my account. So I'm a little bit confused about the question there, Claudia, because you mentioned cost per click of keywords, which is to do with advertising, but then you're talking about account health. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. You might have to just be a bit clearer on your message, because I don't really understand why it would be negatively affected if you haven't launched a product. So basically, it seems that your account is not in good standing, but you haven't sold anything. If you can just be a little clearer there on what's happened, I can, of course, help you. I think I've answered I think I've answered quite a few of the questions now. But yeah, guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in. Otherwise, it's nearly 11 o'clock. Should we do another little cheeky refresh? We're on 191. I mean, it's late now, so I can't. Oh, we're still on 191. Damn. It always gives you a little rush when you get an additional sale, no matter how big or small. Honestly, I've been doing this 4 years now, and I still get the same rush every time I see a sale. Okay. Okay, Claudia, I only checked the cost per click and I got infringement. You must have tried to list a product. Did you try and list it without? I think what's probably happened, from the sounds of it, is you've listed somebody else's product, somebody else's branded product, possibly. And that is kind of why I say private labeling is better, because you don't have that risk, because it's your brand. No one's going to complain. Would you actually do a product with the number of views as the baby clipper rather? Most sellers are in the thousands. No, I think, well, to be honest, I hadn't actually done that much, deep diving into it. I just kind of thought on the surface of it, there was a lot of tick marks. I would need to look into it into a lot more detail. So yeah, I can't say for sure, but from the initial view that I had, but product research is a bit of a lengthier process without you having to that you have to go through for quite a while. You can't just do it in 10 minutes or whatnot. So Claudia, back on this. you don't need advertising. You don't need to do advertising with wholesale products. So you wouldn't need to check cost per click, because wholesale products are typically well ranked. So don't do advertising. Success. How long is this special offer going to last? It's just for this session. I believe it will be part of the repeat tomorrow, but then that'll be it. And then it's not going to happen again because, as I say, the price is going up. My normal price is a lot higher than this, and that's without AMZ Scout. So, you know, this really is an absolute deal. Yes, Rico, that is my email, info@jansonsmith.com. I've turned it off at the moment because otherwise it would be going off in the background. Can you do print on demand? I believe you can. Amazon actually have print on demand, I think. That's not something that I actually do, though. I just do private labeling. Can someone do wholesaling and private labeling? Yes, you can do both. Again, I just do the private labeling just because I'd rather focus all my attention and efforts on that. And you guys have seen what happened, you know, with my private labeling journey. So I've got no reason to flick to others, but you can. What else got? Do you use other tools than AMZ Scout? So there are a couple of other tools that I use that are kind of more to do with accounting. So like Xero, Link My Books, that, you know, AMZ Scout doesn't really cater to. But, you know, AMZ Scout is kind of one of my go-tos for this type of thing when I'm doing these presentations, because it's really clear, gives you all the information that you need. So yeah, honestly, and to have it for a year as well included, that's ridiculous. Like Healing Sense competitors, for this package, it's at least $100 a month. So, you know, after 12 months, that's $1,200, and you're not even getting half the other stuff. It's really, really good value. But so guys, we're just clocking up to 11 o'clock now. It's getting to my bedtime, and I've got to enroll all you guys that have been enrolling. So any final questions? If there are, do let me know. And if not, don't let me know. But Nick's saying, can one seller account have multiple brands associated with it? Yep, I've got more than one brand. That's absolutely fine. You can have as many as you like. Absolutely no problem. Seed is saying, please answer Claudia. Yes, I've already answered that. So I think that is, so Bruce is saying, I have an idea for a brand name, but it appears to already be taken. I've checked the trademark and it's not taken, but it's not a store name. Why don't you email me, Bruce, and I can have a look into it for you. It's $697 US dollars. It's US dollars. Okay, guys. So it's 11 o'clock now, and I'm going to end on that note. So we ended the session on, I'm going to refresh once more. You never know. 191 sales. So we started that session with 175, 174, and we've gone up, you know, a really nice amount of sales there, like 20 odd sales. 175. My maths is awful. It's because I'm getting tired. 16 sales we've gone up in the time that I've been speaking with you guys. So guys, that is the end of this session. I'd like to thank you all for joining this far. We've still got 55 of you on, which is amazing. Thank you so much. If you're still on now, you're awesome. It's really appreciated you joining me, so I'm not just talking to myself. And yeah, if you have questions, if you're in, you know, if you want to enroll, great. The link is here. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, just type my name in and it will come up. I'm pretty active on all of them. Less so YouTube over the last few months because I've been doing this upgrade, but I'm, you know, getting right back into it now. So I'll be posting weekly tips and tricks, tutorials, updates, the lot. So it's been an absolute pleasure as always. That we'll leave this kind of link on the screen now if you want to click into it if you're just reaching this part in the webinar. And thank you guys. Best of luck whatever you decide.